welcome back to another MaizePlus video and another video in the Getting Started With series. And today we're going to have a look at chickens. Chickens are pretty popular in farm sim because they are fairly cheap. And MaizePlus obviously adds a little bit of complexity. So we're going to have a look at what crops you might want to grow to feed them and other ways that you might want to look at feeding them. Definitely worth checking out my Can You Make Money with Chickens video as well. I'll try to remember to put a card for that in the corner. But let's have a look at what chickens eat. Obviously with MaizePlus, the feeding changes, and we have the 4 feed bars as we're kind of used to with MaizePlus. We've got protein food, energy food, base food, and moisture food. Slightly different to things like cows and sheep, where the percentages are not quite so simple. So we're looking at 35% protein food, 35% base food, and then 20% moisture food, 10% energy food. So what do you need for those? This is the animal food overview mod. I've had lots of fun with lately, but is really useful for this kind of thing. So protein food, you're looking at soybeans or alfalfa hay. So on most maps, you can't grow alfalfa. And on a lot of maps, it is lucerne, not alfalfa. So it probably won't work. So if you want to grow the crop, you're looking at soybeans. I'll talk about whether you want to grow the crops or not in a bit. Energy food, wheat or sorghum. So that's kind of your original base game food. Base food, corn, CCM or corn grain grist. So that's all products from corn. If you turn corn into CCM or corn grain grist, so that's raw CCM. If you use the Luprasil in the starter mill, you'll get a bit of a bonus, and then you can ferment it. You don't get a bonus for that, but it is what it is. And then moisture food, you're looking at sugar beet cut, sugar beets or carrots. So carrots you can buy from the store with MaizePlus, or if you're on a map that's got them and the field type's right, you could grow them. My preference, because the way MaizePlus changes to feeding, chickens eat quite a bit more. You're probably not going to want to grow crops and feed them directly. Again, check the Can You Make Money from, and my recommendation is that you use the farm supply pack because the food in that is fairly cheap. Sorry. So if we go into pallets, you can buy pretty much everything you're going to want at £1,000, dollars or euros for 5,000 litres. And that means you can buy basically everything. You can buy a pallet of soybeans, you could buy a pallet of wheat, you can buy, if I can find it, a pallet of maize, and I'm pretty sure you can buy a pallet of sugar beet as well. There we go. So you could buy all the feed you need, and it's £1,000, dollars or euros for 5,000 litres. Definitely the way to go, I think, if you want to get started with chickens. If you buy this chicken feed, it is just wheat, so it would just count as the wheat feed. If you did want to buy their food, you would need to buy both. So you would need to buy chicken feed. So that's either the base game one, if I can see it, or from the farm supply pack. So you've got like the chicken feed there, and then you'd want the Doika chicken food as well, because that fills the other 3 bars up for you. So, but that's £1,100, dollars or euros for 1,000 litres. So I would definitely go the separate way. You're probably going to ask, can I make chicken food in a mixer? The answer is no, you cannot. And I would not recommend trying to edit the mixer to do that, because the mixer script is quite delicate that's built into the game. So the guys who created MaizePlus had a lot of fun trying to get the mixer script to work to do what it does. So if you're that desperate, try it, use it at your own risk. If you really want to edit something, you could maybe edit a production to produce the right fill type. And I've got videos on editing productions. I've got videos on editing animal feeding. You could edit it so that the chicken feed that's included in MaizePlus does all 4 groups, and then you could create that in a production if you really wanted to. But my advice is just use the farm supply pack. Get yourself a skid steer or a front loader or whatever with an appropriately sized bucket, and just do it that way. It works really well. It's really easy. And that's chickens with MaizePlus. Definitely a good option. You can definitely make a bit of cash out of them, particularly if you're buying the food from the farm supply pack. It's very good value. I'm going to lay off the cheap jokes. And yeah, hope you found this useful. If you did, click the like button. Comments, questions, or suggestions below if you're new to the channel and you're not already, think about subscribing. Also going to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. And I'll see you next time.